Good morning. Yeah, I'm Simon Bryans, and I am the supporters liaison officer, which is a bit of a joke here at the club. Terry and the guys have given me that new title this season. Basically, what that is to do is to amalgamate the supporters with the club in reaching out with any special needs which supporters need, or anything the club can ask the supporters to do and assist.
So what have the supporters what's their main gripe been?
I would say communication. I think that's been a bit of a struggle for us. It's great what Pat does with the team, and I think the supporters needed a outlet as well, which we introduced this year on Facebook, a supporters page. We're looking at changing that into a group where we can have more people bring up points of view and ask questions. It was just a case of what the supporters could offer the club in help. Massive, absolutely massive. I think the level that we've gone up to now in the Southern League demands ground improvements. I think when we roughly knew last year around Christmas time we were not nailed on we were going to win the league, but 90% I would have said it was in our favour. We had an opportunity to look at what we needed to progress the club with and the ground ready for next season. There was 3 issues that we had to concern ourselves on. One was the new turnstiles, to implement 2 turnstiles over there, which we've managed to get on and get done, to actually enclose the ground at the far end, and to enclose the green barrier all the way around the ground. We've been lucky because we've had months to get ready for this, and I don't think we have to be actually finished till March next year. But then if you flip it the other way round, when you're in the Spartans League and you make it in the playoffs and you get to the final and you get through, great, you get promoted, you don't get that time to do the ground improvements, it can be tricky and difficult if you don't have the volunteers to assist you and help you with. So it's been challenging, but we've got there. We've turned it round and made some improvements to the ground as well.
So speaking of ground improvements, obviously Project Enigma has been going around on social media a lot. Do you want to talk me through that?
Yeah, no problem. So as you've seen, it's come out on social media that Enigma is going to take place. I think it's fantastic for Bletchley, the wider community. I think what that involves is not just the football club, it takes forward the cricket club, the rugby club, and the Irish Centre itself. Amazing plans what's going to happen. Absolutely amazing plans. If you get a chance to look at it, Google it, you can see what's going to happen in Bletchley. Hopefully we're trying to attract the basketball team as well to come and play. And we've been sort of carrying out the work for the last season in preparation, ready for Enigma, with the movement of the pitches. And it's starting to develop. It's been hard work getting everybody united together, but fantastic for Bletchley.
The first thing you've got to get done
for ourselves as a football team was to get the pitch moved, because of the pitch of the AstroTurf, the 3G pitch on the far side. We didn't quite have enough room to incorporate what we were looking for. So what we needed to do was bring the pitch this way, which we have done this season. And then our second phase will be to take down the main stand over there and bring the pitch forward.
Obviously, when Project Enigma happens, what's the club's expectations of where they're going to be? Obviously, in the Southern League now, planning on being step 3, step 2.
It'd be lovely. It'd be absolutely fantastic. But you can only grasp at them aspirations if the club are built solidly and develop in the right way. I do think we have the capability, and we've certainly got the ground. The team, yes, I think it's possible that we could, aspire to that sort of level.
What's your kind of relationship like with the playing team and then yourself?
That's a good one as well. I'm through and through a supporter. I'm basically a volunteer here, and I will do anything that we can to assist the team on the field. We've got some great people that are supporters and sponsors at this club. Probably touching on Greenway Solar, fantastic Ellen and Danny Hurst. What they brought to this club over the last couple of years is an amazing project that we're trying to develop this year. They've donated nearly £10,000 worth of solar equipment. What we're hoping to do is, as we're sitting here on this main stand, is kit it out with the solar panelling, and that should then bring enough power for the club to run and the infrastructure, which again keeps costs down, and we can reinvest that money back into the grassroots football. It's fantastic.
What do you have to do in terms of safety?
Yeah, that's a concern for any club, I would say. It's stewarding, making sure you've got the right stewards, because you've got bigger crowds, better access, I would say, as well. It's we still have to look at probably a second turnstile to sort of take the pressure off the turnstiles and just the main entrance that we've got. It all takes a lot of thought of how we can improve that, and people's safety is paramount at the end of the day, isn't it?
So obviously there's other teams in Milton Keynes. You have Newport, teams like New Bridewell, Dons. What's your relationship like with those other teams?
I think they're fantastic. I think they enjoy coming to play down at the Irish. We enjoy going away, and we're welcomed everywhere we go. I can't see. We've had many issues with local sides. I think at the end of the day, it's a game of football, isn't it? And we all want to win.
So, obviously, I guess your main kind of competitor would be Newport in the sense of not geographically, but like league standing. Do you have any issues with them at all? Or?
No, not at all. No, obviously we've moved in a different direction. Over the last 5 years, it's been very difficult for the Irish, I would say. Amalgamating two teams together with Unite MK and Buckingham Town. Then in them first 5 years, we've had COVID for 2 years, so no income coming in, so it's been difficult. And it's been a fairy tale really for us. We've achieved 2 promotions and gone on to play in the Southern League next year.
Are there any behind the scenes kind of? Is there any remnants of that old Unite MK team?
Yeah, there's still people here. Obviously, Lee Coulter, he's ex-Unite MK. Christian Greenwood, secretary still, Unite MK. We've still got 2 or 3 supporters that come from Buckingham Town every game. So it's brilliant to see, absolutely brilliant to see. And we've all got under one banner to take a club forward.
Ground location. Some people will call this a bit of a problem in terms of having the water just there that sometimes does get onto the pitch, especially over there. Do you think that the ground location's a problem, or?
It's not the easiest places to get into, and I'm sure with Project Enigma things may change for entrances with bridges and things like that, and the road layout may change. I haven't quite seen them structural plans for that, but I'm sure that'll be taken into consideration when the development side of Enigma starts. Yeah.
What's your relationship like with the rugby and cricket club here? So obviously you're going to be working closely with Project Enigma.
Well, after we were promoted and champions, I can remember the rugby club lent us 2 barrels of Guinness because we'd drunk the bar dry. So we get on great with the cricket. And again, Pat passes, he's cricket, Bletchley Town, and with the football as well. So that's been one of the key factors that's probably pulled Enigma together, with Pat understanding both what the cricket want and the football side of it, which is great when you've got a person that can see two sides of an opinion. It's great.
So obviously going into Southern League, had to get like you told me earlier, had to get a CEO in. What's it like with the whole kind of behind the scenes structure? What's that like?
It's expectation and it's commercial that you need to feel that you survive. I think, as in money and revenue, you need to bring into the club. You've got to look at what you can bring into the club and sustain what you can bring in. We'd all love, I think, that one man that's got millions, but it's not sustainable. You need to bring companies on board where you've got an income coming in over seasons. Going back to Greenway Solar, that isn't just an investment for one season. That's 10, 15 years down the line that they will be providing, a great source of income for the club. That's what you need to be looking at, that sort of investment.
So talking as more a supporter's perspective, how do you think the pre-season's been going so far?
Challenging. I think what Terry's looked at is who can offer different challenges to the team that we've got. Wellingborough yesterday, very big, strong, physical side. Been in the Southern League, I think, North for a couple of seasons now, so they're established. I think Terry was, looking at how we face up against them, what sort of level we needed to be at, and what work rate. Great to play MK Dons, the academy, very fit, young side, knock the ball around really well. So it's different styles. We've got Northampton Town down here next Saturday, 11 of them. And then Bugbrook St Michael. We were over there last Thursday and had a game. Again, they're UCL, aren't they? So yeah, it's different challenges.
Do you think this pre-season's gone better or worse than last season?
I think it's looking good. I think, and Terry's always been a believer where if you're winning games easily, you're in the wrong league. It's never a true. You need competition. You need competition for places. You need competition to test the players that you've got. What I've seen is we're ready to hit the ground running in a couple more weeks. I think that what Glenn's done with the physical side of the players' conditions look good. They look very strong and very fit. And you always get 2 or 3 players away because of holidays as well. So it's never going to be the full side that you really want to put out. So.
Do you spend a lot of time with the players?
I do after the match in the bar. That's as far as I go when it goes to anything physical. No, but it's great because you can go out and that's the beauty of non-league football. You can communicate to players. You can talk to players. After the match, you can sit down. You can ask a player what went wrong, what went right, what can you do better, and you get an honest answer. You get a brilliant, honest answer of the lad in general. It's good to see. I like to see that.
So last season you sealed promotion on non-league day. Talk me through that day.
Wow, that was a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work throughout the season, and the belief was just fantastic. It was from the very first game, which was a justice for us. We had Romania here on the first game of the season. I think from the previous season being knocked out in the semi-finals, I think that was always the right game for us to start with. And then going on the run of 5-6 games where we never conceded a goal. Winslow were the first team to come down here and take a point off us and score against us. The momentum just snowballed. It just kept going on and on and on. And we were playing some fantastic football. And there's some good sides in there. There was Tring, there was Cockfosters, Arsley, all teams that are going to push you. They've got that ability to play good football against you. And, I thought Tring were a very good side the second half of the season. I don't know if they probably had injuries at the start of the season or they recruited through Christmas time, but they pushed us very hard to the end. They were, and it was inevitable we were going to get to that finishing line, and then after that, it seemed like the excitement had gone because I felt we'd done it too early in a way. We won the league too early, and that's not being big-headed in any way with Terry or all the players. It just like it'd have been great if it had been the last game. That's what supporters want, isn't it? That's the excitement of it.
What were you doing in football before you joined MK Irish?
I spent some time with my son when he was young. I was at Wolverton Tiger Moths. I managed a team from under 9s through to under 16s. And playing career, I did actually put the boots on for Stony Stratford, your local team, many years ago with Dean Valentine and Cole Dean and players like that. So yeah, it's been great. I think you have the passion to play when you're younger, and you have to channel it into a different area the older you get. And me being involved with the Irish, I've still got the passion. I love football. So,
how do you think football's changed the most between when you were playing to now?
Oh goodness, I think back in the day it was more physical. I think you were coming up against some ugly centre halves that were big, brutal guys. And now the lads seem more athletical. They just watching them, how they prepare, what they eat. Even at this standard of football, it's totally different to back 20 years ago.
Do you have any sides that you remember Irish playing against that are big physical sides?
I think Wellingborough were very commanding yesterday. They looked dominant. They put themselves about, but they had a lovely balance of it's getting that balance right, isn't it? It's getting the physicality and the natural ability as well. And they looked a good side. And to be truthful, they finished 5th, I think, or just out the playoffs last year in the Division North. So that was a good test for us yesterday.
Are there any sides you're particularly looking forward to visiting this season?
It's got to be Leighton, and it's got to be AFC Dunstable. I think we've got Leighton very early on in second away match. I think we've got Biggleswade away for our first away match, and then the match of probably the season down here on Boxing Day, Leighton Town at home. So I think we need to get early for this one, for that one.
What ground was your most what ground did you find the most impressive when you went and Spartan? Because we did well in the FA Cup last year, we had a couple of good a little run in the FA Cup. We went to Concord Rangers and we were defeated by, I'm trying to think now, Canvey, wasn't it? Yeah, same island.
Canvey. So, and there's some good, nice little grounds that you visit. I think in the Spartan, you can. It's like pretty much down here at the Irish. You do what's necessary at that level. If you then go on another level, then you start implementing change to the ground, because nobody's going to waste money. Them sort of teams will think, okay, we've got more to spend on the budget of the players, and that's what they tend to do. That's when you see players playing for £200, £150 a week and that, because they use the budget on players. What Terry's done down here is quite the opposite. We set a stall out last year, £10 a coin. So the guys won, it was £30. And perhaps that's the better way of doing things. It gives you more collateral, to do the improvements. So
obviously, Irish spending within their means. What are your kind of thoughts on AFC Welling and Royal Bedford, who maybe spend out of their means?
It's strange, isn't it? When you look at the Premier League, you see clubs getting fined and that because they're out of their financial control, spending money and more than what that's coming in. You see that a little bit in non-league football as well. Like I say, if you've got a lot of benefactors that have got a bit of money that can put it into the club, it's more of a hobby to them, if you get what I mean. It's more of a toy thing. But you can't. I don't feel you can run a club like that.
So with Irish going to the Southern League, is the £10 a point staying on as a
I think Terry's upped the bonus this year. I think he's actually emptied his pockets a little bit more, and he's shook them, and I think we can come up with something else. I think one of the best things we did was we knew that was going to happen because of the level we were going to, and as supporters we wanted to assist Terry and help Terry. So one of our ideas was to open the club shop, which is selling merchandise and memorabilia, and it's fantastic. It's flown off, shirts being sold. All that money, that's 100% profit, is reinvested into the team and into Terry's team. So there's other ways you can support the team as well through the supporters, which has been great.
You don't often see clubs at this kind of level opening club shops. Was that a big risk to take, or?
No, I think when people come to watch the game, they want to remember the game. They want memorabilia, pin badges, programmes. We've now got a supporter base probably averaging on around 200 supporters pretty much every week that come in. So you can build a good fan base. What we've introduced this year as well is the plastic-free glasses. You pay your £2 deposit. You've got it's like festival glass. It's got a picture of the champions on from last year, or just the Irish badge, and it's great. Not only a piece of memorabilia, you can take away. Again, it's more greener. Yeah. We're not emptying so many bins of rubbish and things like that. So it helps the club in a different way as well.
What has been your highest selling piece of memorabilia so far?
The bucket hats. I think with it being sunny for the last 2 weeks, you go through patterns when you know things are going to change in the shop. With the hot sun, we've done about 30 bucket hats. They've gone completely. We've had to reorder on them. But as the colder weather comes in, we know the hoodies are going to sell. So, it's just what we wanted to see down here. We had some great support, but we had no identity, and now people are starting to wear the badge, the hats, and it's great to see a way, the colours of, supporting your team. I think we missed out a trick there. Now we've introduced it. It looks great.
Do you run on pretty tight margins of that, or?
No. What we tried to do was not be too expensive that you could not reach out to the supporter, but still have the quality that you thought, wow, at that sort of price. It's very fine margins, but every pound profit you make is a pound towards the club. So it wasn't set out in the fact to sort of make vast amount of money. It was there to provide something to the supporter and to give the club something back.
Will you be opening up an online shop anytime soon, or is that not in the plans yet?
I'm in discussions with Pat at the moment, because I think next week the new strips are unveiled, the new first team strip. We've already been inundated with, do they do children's 0 to 3, 1 to 3? It's perhaps something we need to look at. I had a lady come to me yesterday. She'd like to send some shirts to Australia. So, and we've had a little bit of fun on the supporters page where we've asked people with the beanie hats and memorabilia, when they're on holiday, can you take a photo of different places they've been? And we actually had a key ring photographed in Peru. So it's great because we can engage the supporters like that, and also we've got a free season ticket away this year through the supporters shop, in competitions, free shirts, and it's sort of building up a good fan base. That's what we feel.
Do you think the club needs to maybe utilise social media more to try and get more supporters, if you open up an online shop, to spend their money in that shop?
Yeah, it is difficult because a lot of people have got full-time jobs. We've got to remember that at the end we're only a part-time club, and I think just having the time to do that's very difficult. As you well know yourself, it's quite demanding. Perhaps the next sort of couple of levels, then I think you need to really reach out to looking at the proper, correct way of speaking to the fans. Yeah.
So, going back into this season, what are you expecting from the team this year?
I'd love to say promotion. I think if we establish ourselves, Terry gets the boys playing, and we sort of find our feet. I think find our feet. It'd be lovely to get promoted. Christmas time be around, the playoff places. But you never know in football, do you? You could hit the floor running, like we did for the last 2 seasons. Or it could be the complete opposite. You could be struggling, and then you need to think about you as a team and how you play, in how you're going to get over it. Probably not experienced that over the last 2 years. So I'd say mid-table will be quite sufficient, I think.
And finally, do you have any messages for somebody who's maybe considering coming down to the Irish Centre but hasn't quite made the trip yet?
Come down and enjoy yourself. We're one big community down here. We've got some lovely people, lovely supporters, and it's amazing. We've got one lady that comes and brings the bread and pudding and hands it round the ground, and they're characters, isn't it? And that's what you need in football. It's friendship. Yesterday we managed to present one of the supporters Tom Ladyman's shirt, which was signed from last season. She's a big fan of Tom's, and it's something the supporters could do for her. And she went away and absolutely loved the day because she'd got the shirt signed by Tom. Simple little things. We do well here.